She was the most beautiful girl in town, but every night she had to hide in the mall bathroom. She only came out after the mall was closed. When she was hungry, she would sneak food quietly and even set multiple alarms before bed, just to make sure she didn't oversleep and get caught living there. She had lived like this for 2 months, but this wasn't the lowest point in her life. Mary had been abandoned by her parents when she was young. Without love from a family, she always longed for happiness. So when she turned 20, she started dating a man with no stable job. Craving love, she pinned all her hopes on this one man, even got pregnant with his child. But she had no idea. This blind pursuit of love would cost her dearly. One day, when Mary and Dan were on a trip to the countryside, her shoe slipped through a hole in the floor of the car. She asked Dan to stop at a roadside convenience store.
I can go to the bathroom.
All right, hurry up.
I'm gonna need some money.
They gonna charge you to pay?
I'll have to get some house shoes. I gotta get some kind of shoes.
All right, get you some house shoes.
But as she was about to pay, she suddenly had a bad feeling. She rushed out of the store, and just as she feared, Dan had disappeared without a trace. Only her old camera was left behind on the ground, the one that had been with her since she was little. When the clerk asked if she needed help, she said,
My boyfriend went to get the car fixed. He'll pick me up.
Well, have a nice day.
No matter what others said, she insisted on waiting there for her boyfriend. What she didn't know was that Dan had already been arrested for a crime. Later, she went to the library looking for parenting books, and the librarian Jack was instantly drawn to her beauty. When he found out why she was there, he nervously piled up books for her. He could barely answer her parenting questions without stammering. Then something surprising happened. He actually followed Mary after she left. That one decision ended up saving her life. That night, Mary hid in the store bathroom like usual, but suddenly realized she was going into labor, terrified and alone. She desperately wished someone would help her, but the store was completely empty, with no other choice. She found a spot and prepared to give birth alone. The pain was unbearable. She screamed for help, but no one could hear her. Then suddenly, a man broke through the window. When she woke up, she was in a hospital bed, surrounded by flowers. Mary was confused by it all. The nurse told her that the entire town was talking about how she gave birth in the store, but Mary didn't care about that. All she wanted to know was if her baby was okay. Right then, a completely unexpected woman appeared at her bedside.
Mama,
I thought you'd be surprised.
did you come all this way just to make fun of me?
God, no.
Pretending to visit out of concern, but really just there to take what little money Mary had left. After getting the cash, she told Mary she'd be back at 9 the next morning to take her home. But by noon the next day, her mother never showed up. Just like Dan, she abandoned Mary outside the hospital. But now Mary only wanted to build a better life for her child. Once she had things in order, she went to the library to thank Jack. The nurse had told her that it was Jack who had saved her that night. When Jack saw Mary again, his heart skipped a beat. He was frozen in place. That was the moment he realized he had truly fallen for her. As they spent more time together, they shared more and more. They even started going out on little trips. And just like that, love quietly bloomed between them. Jack had once attended a top university. He was set for a brilliant future, but he gave it all up to care for his sick mother. Hearing Jack's story, Mary was deeply moved, but she tried hard to suppress her feelings. She believed she wasn't good enough for someone like Jack, a single mother with nothing to offer. So when Jack confessed his love, Mary turned him down.
Do you love me?
You are the best friend I've ever had.
Just answer me. Do you love me?
No.
She only did it because her best friend told her Jack was about to start working for a big company in London. She didn't want to be the reason he gave up such a bright future. Thinking Mary didn't love him, Jack left town heartbroken. It seemed like their story had come to an end. But one day, Mary saw news about Dan in the paper. He had been hospitalized after an accident. Kind-hearted as she was, she went to the hospital to visit him.
Why does anyone lie? Because we're scared or crazy. I mean, there's a million reasons to lie, nobly. But sometimes you tell a lie so big it change your whole life.
Hearing Dan's apology, Mary finally saw things clearly. She didn't want to keep lying to herself, so she rushed to Jack's school to tell him how she really felt.
I lied to you when you asked me if I loved you, and I said no. Remember? It wasn't true. I love you. It's just I lied because I thought you deserved something better.
Something better than you.